Welcome to the Bald Truth Leadership Podcast, where you get straightforward, no-nonsense ideas on leadership and growth, both personally and professionally. It's brought to you by the Chief Coaching Officer of the Peak Performance Group. He's also a brilliant and successful serial entrepreneur. He's a two-time author. He's a certified executive coach. He's a sales genius. He's bald.
Hey now.
And he's your host of the Bald Truth Leadership Podcast. Buckle your chin strap. Here's your host, Coach Rick Colster.
Hey, welcome to the Bald Truth Leadership Podcast. I'm Coach Rick. Remember to like and subscribe below. We're available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, and YouTube video. Hit the like and subscribe to every episode, folks. Welcome today. Thanks for tuning in. Today, the Bald Truth is all about excitement and high energy. I don't think there's anything more exciting or gives a higher level of energy than driving a car at almost 200 miles per hour, folks. Today in the Bald Truth, we have a man of many talents and experiences. Many who listen know I have a love and affinity for our military, the men and women who serve our country. Some may even know my love of the United States Naval Academy, since both my best friend and my brother graduated from there and went on to serve our country. My guest today also attended the United States Naval Academy and has served and continues to be active in the Navy Reserve. He's also a competitive man, had a little fun, part of the Navy Brotherhood, and he currently drives in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series in number 33, number 34 Chevy Silverado, and Toyota Tundra for Ryan Brothers Racing. Folks, let's welcome to the Bald Truth Lieutenant Commander Jesse Iwuji. Jesse, welcome, man. I'm glad to have you. This is exciting.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on the show today.
Oh, man, we're excited. Now, you're from Texas. In fact, you're like myself. And your background, tell us a little bit about growing up in Texas.
Yeah, originally from Dallas, Texas. I grew up there my whole life. Both of my parents, they had actually immigrated from Nigeria to the U.S. Back in the 80s before deciding to settle in Dallas and having me and my two brothers and my sister. And growing up in Dallas, as you know, football is king in that state. So I naturally gravitated towards football, and somehow, some way outside of football, I started finding this passion for cars and racing too. But football was really my first big thing in Dallas.
Well, yeah, football, it's almost a religion here in Texas, that's for sure. And I live near the football capital, which is Dallas-Fort Worth. Of course, I live just near South Lake, and you're probably familiar with the South Lake Dragons and their run on state championships. But you had a pretty good run yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a pretty good team when I was in high school. My high school that I went to, Hebron High School. When I first got there, I believe the school was only like 2 years old or something, 2 or 3 years old. Like, it's still a brand new school, kind of a small school, but we still were 4A. And I think by my sophomore year, I believe at Hebron, which was 2002 or so. I mean, that was our third or fourth year in existence. We finally went to the playoffs, and then went to the playoffs again my junior year, and then went undefeated during the regular season in my senior year. So I had a really solid team. And then the year after I left, they finally won a championship in 2005. They won a state championship. So basically, 6 years in existence, wins their first state championship. And then from there, it goes to 5A, and then they started doing well there. Just winning a lot of games. But yeah, Hebron High School, very good team, very solid school in Carrollton, Texas.
And then, of course, Navy recruited you to come play ball there. Now, weren't you a linebacker, I think?
So during my time in high school, at first I was a wide receiver and DB. I played corner. And then going into my sophomore year in high school, I was still wide receiver, but instead of playing corner, I moved to safety. I played safety pretty much the rest of my time until my senior year. My senior year in high school, my coaches decided to move me from safety to outside linebacker. I wasn't a very big outside linebacker at all. I was only like 170 pounds. But the reason they moved me there is my coach had a philosophy, especially for high school players, is put your 11 best athletes on the field, no matter what position they got to be at. Just put your 11 best players on the field, and they will figure it out. So even though I was like a very undersized outside linebacker, I was still fast and athletic. So when it came to blitzing, I would just blitz half the time I was on the field. They would just send me on a blitz. Well, the offensive linemen in high school, they're just not quick enough to hang with a 170-pound track star. So I just go around these guys. I think I had like 6 sacks in my senior year, a whole bunch of pressures, some deflected passes and a lot of tackles and all that stuff. And that's what led me to getting recruited by the Naval Academy.
I hated you guys when I played. I was a tackle. Played right tackle in high school and college. And I hated guys as fast as you, man. I was like, oh, where'd he go? All of a sudden, he's in the backfield. I hated guys like you. So I remember I actually got to watch you play. We chatted a couple seconds before we started the show about I actually watched you play your plebe year at the Meineke Bowl. It was a tough loss. So my question is, as part of the Navy Brotherhood, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, so Navy Brotherhood means a lot to me. That group of band of brothers, we all played together. We worked very hard together. A lot of sweat, a lot of grind, a lot of pain you deal with through off seasons and during football practices and training camps and all that stuff. So we call it the Brotherhood because we're all in it together. At the end of the day, when you're at the Naval Academy, there's so many different things going on. You have all your different military duties. You have your school duties, academics you have to deal with. And then you have football, which is like a full-time job itself. So when you're dealing with all this stuff, and we do have support, we do have help from different angles and different people. But at the end of the day, we're all kind of in it together. Like it's very difficult. And when we stick together, we're able to get ourselves through the academy. We help each other a lot. We're there for each other, whether it's just somebody to talk to, whether it's somebody to help you academically, whether it's someone to help you on the football field, or somebody just to keep your mind straight so you can actually get through the academy and not like get kicked out or something. So a definitely tough place to be, but having the Brotherhood together, that's what keeps us solid. And then when you graduate, you have that group of friends that will be your friends for life. A lot of people say when you go from high school to college, a lot of people think, oh yeah, my high school friends, those are my friends for life. Now, college, that's going to be really truly your friends for life. It's like a new stage, new area, and you make new friends, and the friends we made, on the football team, and we all stay in touch still. We're there for each other. We stay tight and we help each other where we can.
So, and I'd love that because that shows the determination that you've got. And I heard a story. What really prompted me, wanted me to get you on the show, was the story about your parents. And that's a story of determination. And that's really why I wanted to get you on the Bald Truth. And determination, love, as I read it. Why don't you share that? Can you share that about that? How you got the determination that you had? Because it takes a lot to, go just play college ball, number one, but to play and keep up academics and all things you have to do at the Naval Academy or any one of the military academies. I don't dismiss any of them. Of course, Navy's my favorite, of course. Mm-hmm. But so it takes a lot of determination. And I think you got that from your parents. How did you get that from them? And tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, when it comes to, getting to the Naval Academy and just, getting to the things I've gotten to in life, yeah, a lot of grit, a lot of determination, a lot of grind. For me, I got recruited by the Naval Academy during my senior year in high school. I decided to go there because I thought it would be the best opportunity for me to get a great education, be able to, play football for a great team. And then when I graduate, be able to serve as an officer in the United States Navy. It was just a great opportunity in general to go there. So I went there, grinded hard throughout my whole 4 years so I could get through the academics, get through football, get through everything we had to deal with at the academy. When I graduated in 2010, became a surface warfare officer and was on a couple different ships, went on a couple different deployments with those ships for my first 4 years in. And then after my first 4 years of being in the Navy, I was on sea duty at that time. And then I transitioned from sea duty to shore duty. When I got to shore duty, that's when I was in Monterey, California, working on the staff at Naval Postgraduate School. But I had a lot more free time, and that free time was on the weekends. And this is when I was really developing this crazy passion towards cars and racing. So I was sitting in my room one night, and I just made this crazy decision that I wanted to become a pro racing driver. Because I had been doing track days. Yeah, I've been doing track days prior to that. I had been taking my personal cars to local tracks near me, doing all these open track days, and that was fun and all. But I wanted to take it to the next level. I didn't want to stay at just an amateur level for my whole life. I want to take it to the highest level possible. So through a lot of grind, through a lot of just focus, energy, and just not letting the opinions of others become my reality. Because when you're going on a journey, when you're trying to accomplish something big, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be negative. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to tell you, no, don't do it because of this and that. A lot of people are going to try to get in your way. But at the end of the day, all these blockades, all these walls don't mean that that's a sign to stop. All they are is just things you got to get through. So whether you go straight through the wall, over the wall, under the wall, around it, life rewards those who stay strong enough, long enough. And that's what I did to continue to fight through to figure out, okay, how do I get the funding to even get in a race car? How do I get track time so I can learn how to drive a race car? All these different things. I had to figure out solutions. Okay, get a racing simulator so I can practice at home every day. Okay, get on calls and meetings with all these businesses and network with people and build relationships so I can eventually find sponsorship. Okay, start my own business on the side so I can make extra money to supplement this cost of racing. Okay, continue to train every day on my racing simulator. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm still active duty in the Navy, but balance all this stuff on a daily basis every day so I can get towards the big goal, which is to be a pro driver. And through that grind, through that energy on a daily basis, I started at the lowest level of NASCAR, which is NASCAR late models. Those
Sure.
you don't see those on TV or anything like that. And from there, started working my way up the different series of NASCAR, and now I'm racing at the second highest level of NASCAR. So it's been a crazy blessed journey, but it's been a grind. And throughout the whole time, I've just kept this mindset of do not quit, do not quit. There's a lot of people looking up to you, a lot of people inspired by the journey. Just stay with it. And like I said before, life rewards those who stay strong enough, long enough.
Man, I love your attitude, man, because you must be listening to some of my other podcasts, because this is all about it. Above it, below it, around it, under it, whatever it takes to get the job done. So I love that. And that's one of the things that I love about successful folks is your drive to do whatever it takes. Because you hear this every day. We hear, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. Whatever. It's the ones that go, I'm going to do whatever it takes. It doesn't matter. Now, because on the show, we've had a ton of different great leaders. It's the Bald Truth Leadership Podcast. It's really about how do we create great leaders, and our listeners are all trying to find out about leadership. And it's about determination too. Leadership is about determining yourself to be a great leader. So I got to say this, driving for NASCAR has got to be a blast, man. That's got to be some serious fun, right? So,
yeah.
And are you scheduled to be here, I believe, in Texas in June sometime?
Yeah, so we're going to be running the Texas race in June, I believe June 12th week or June 11th or 12th weekend. And then right before that, I'm actually running at Kansas in the NASCAR Truck Series on May 1st. I'll be running that. And then we have some more races we're working on getting on the schedule. Right now, I'm currently running a part-time schedule because of one, it costs a lot of money to race.
Yeah.
So we're always constantly on this fight to go find the funding and sponsorship. So when we find sponsorship, we race. We find more, we race.
Okay.
And then I plan on trying to run some NASCAR Xfinity Series races also this year. And then next year, the goal is to hopefully run a full season of NASCAR Xfinity Series. So that's a goal. That's
Excellent.
what we're working on. That's not easy at all, but once again, it's a grind. You got to keep putting energy towards it every day. Got to be creative every day. Got to find new ways. Don't let the roadblocks, stop you. They can slow you down. Yeah, they can kind of make life a little bit more difficult, but they don't have to stop you. You're in control of the journey. Keep pushing forward.
Yeah. So, and it's Texas Motor Speedway is only about 8 miles from my house. So I may have to pop up there and watch you drive around the track a couple times. Maybe we'll give a little fist bump or something, get in the pits, try to catch up with you. But I got to tell you, you're doing a lot of stuff. I see you're wearing your ERacing shirt. You're part of the ERacing Association. So you've got something going on there. What other things do you do? Let's see, NASCAR, naval officer, ERacing, businessman. Where does it end? Where does it begin?
Yeah. So definitely a lot of stuff going on. So, as you know, racing NASCAR, still in the military. I'm in the reserves now. I'm not active duty anymore. I transitioned from active duty to the reserves in 2017. But since then, I've started a few businesses. So I have a trucking company. I have a auto racing events company where I put on drag racing events at tracks in Southern California in Phoenix. Yeah, in Phoenix. And then ERacing Association, which you can see on the shirt right here, that's a sim racing league for esports. So we're really trying to dive into the esports world and build that realm of things.
That's
because
huge.
what we learned last year was esports one is growing a lot. It's been growing, but last year really catapulted because of COVID and the pandemic. So what we realized is, esports is COVID proof. You can be home and compete against people around the world in all different kind of esports. So let's create a league, where people can sim race against each other for cash prizes and money. Imagine being at home and you're sim racing, cockpit, steering wheel, pedals, and all that stuff. You go race against a bunch of people, and you'll say you go win, $4,000 or something like that. Like that. That's pretty wild.
That's a pretty good deal, man. That's cool. So you mentioned Phoenix the city, but also Phoenix Patriot Foundation. Tell us about that. I know you're involved with them. Tell us about that and how people can maybe get involved.
Yeah, so I've worked with a lot of different organizations over the last few years. Phoenix Patriot Foundation was one of them, and basically what I've done is I've worked with different veteran groups who do a lot of different things for service members, whether they're still in or out. Phoenix Patriot Foundation was one of them, where we would basically find different wounded veterans, and we would bring them and their family to the track. We would actually put their name on the race car, have them in like a VIP suite, give them this whole VIP tour, VIP experience that day, just to honor them and honor their service. Because, a lot of folks in this country, as much as, we sit here and say, thank you to our service members and our vets and all that stuff. Thank you for your service. A lot of times, not a lot of stuff is really done for them, So this was like our one way, because I had the platform. This was our one way to be able to somehow give back and really show them to a good time, honor them, because these are the experiences that stay with them for life. To know that, man, there's people out there who would do things like that for them was cool. And we've done a lot of other things too, similar to that with other veteran groups, like the Aaron Toppin Foundation up in Chicago, Illinois. We've worked with Navy SEAL Foundation. We've worked with a lot of different groups. So each year we're always finding different ways to give back in somehow, some way, just because we have the platform to do so, racing in NASCAR, racing on national TV.
That's awesome, man. I mean, I've been part of Snowball Express, which serves our Gold Star families every year for 11, 12 years now. It's one of my favorite times of the year. So I know what it takes when you're touching those families, whether they're overseas or they've passed, and they're Gold Star families. Thank you for what you do. I from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate the work you're doing with our veterans and their families. That's really pretty cool. So any other projects you got going on? Like you have time? Any other projects going on?
Yeah, my cars. Yeah, no, I'm always I have a few different cars, sports cars that I obviously, because I'm a race car driver, I like fast cars.
Fast cars,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, the cars I own, they're all fast. And I always constantly getting those things worked on, trying to build them up, get more horsepower in them, get them a little bit better at what they do, take them to the track when I'm, have free time, and, run them at the track. And it's always a good time. But yeah, no, I'm always on the grind, always trying to figure out new business moves, different ways to expand our current businesses that we have right now with the trucking company, real estate stuff we do, ERacing Association, my Red List series, drag racing events, all that stuff. Always trying to find different ways to make them better, expand a little bit, and just build my own little small empire of stuff and grow it and try to be the best I can be.
I love guys that are determined, that are just put their head down and do it. That's you, man. I appreciate it. So I know you got a hard stop. We got a hard stop here, so I want to be conscious of that. So I got a couple of things real quick. Number one, how can people get in touch with you? If they want to come out, they want to sponsor your car, they want to come watch you, they want to learn more about what you're doing with e-racing or any of the other things that you're working on, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, for those who want to get in touch, you can reach out to me on any of the social media platforms, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. I'm on all of them. So you can always shoot me a message. I look at all my messages on all of them. I get to them as soon as I can. It's sometimes not within 24 hours. Sometimes it give me a day or two. I'll get to the messages, but you can reach out to me on there. Just type in my name on all of them. It's the same thing. Jesse Iwuji. That's Jesse. Last name is Iwuji. And if for some reason you can't remember how to spell it, the easiest way you can do it is go on Google, type in Navy NASCAR driver. I should be the only one that pops up for a few pages.
Should be the only
And then
one that pops
you'll
up.
see my name all over there. You'll see my name. You'll see I'm the only African American guy that's wearing a race suit. When you type in even really probably Jesse NASCAR driver, you'll probably see. They'll probably.
Yeah, I'm surprised Navy's not sponsored. The whole Navy isn't sponsoring. They should be jump all over
One
that
day,
for sure.
One day, we'll see.
One day that would be cool. I would like that. So okay, we got about 5 minutes left. I want to be conscious, but I also have some questions I want to ask you. And this touches the heart of who all of our guests are. Yeah. You never know. He didn't know these are coming. For those that are listening, Jesse was not prompted on any of this. This is the Coach Rick bald truth question. So we get to the bald truth here. So here's the question. If you're having a dinner party for 6, yourself included, which means you get to invite 5 people. Here's the thing. You get to invite anybody in all of history, alive or dead. Who do you invite and why?
All right. So all of history. All right. So 5. Let me make sure I'm keeping count. All right. So 1, Jesus Christ, because I will learn so much from him alone. In fact, I really wouldn't have to invite anybody else, but Jesus Christ, 1. And then the second one I would want from history would be Albert Einstein, because that man is a genius. Nikolai Tesla, that man's another just genius. 4 would be
you can invite anybody. It doesn't have to be anybody in all that's been alive or dead in all of the world.
Yeah. I would love to speak with Elon Musk too. So that would be great for. And then let's see, the 5th person, who would I really want to learn some stuff from? That's the thing. It's all about learning from people. Who else would that be? You know what? George Washington. Our first president, because I would really want to learn just all the intentions of when this country was created. Because we think we know it right now, and sometimes we hope we're right. But really, I would like to get down to. I mean, he was there. He was there to account for like what the conversations were, what happened, like when this country was formed, what were the true intentions when we had the Constitution and this and that. Because so many people are, especially nowadays, with we have all the different people want like restrictions on gun laws and this and that. And people talk about freedom of speech, and people, we talk about like oppression and all these different things going on right now. And people go back to the Constitution. They're like, oh, well, this was maybe because of this and this. And like, I would like to learn from like the guys who were there. Like, what were the intentions? Like, when you created it, what were your thoughts? Like, I'd like to know.
What were you thinking? Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
All right. The second question is this. An article's being written about you after you're gone. We all have an expiration date. We don't know what it is, but what's the title? Not what's in it, but what's the title of this article?
A title article about me?
About you. After you're past, you're gone. You're young. You're really a young guy. So, it's going to be a while. But what would you want it to say, that title?
Mine will say setbacks are setups for phenomenal comebacks. That's the title of my story.
Love it, man. I love that. So what do you do each morning to set yourself up for success? As an athlete, as a driver, as a businessman, what do you do each morning to set yourself up for success?
For me, the moment I get up, I don't wallow around. I don't just try to figure out my day. Like, the moment I get up, the first thing I do is immediately start looking through all my messages, whether it's social media, emails, and all that stuff, to see did any new opportunities come through the night and that morning, any new opportunities to potentially advance in life. And that's my first thing I do. I look for opportunities. I'm like, did something new come up? Or maybe something that might lead to something new. Did that come up? And that's my whole thing. When I look at it, I'm literally just scouring like new opportunity. Did it happen? And it makes it a little bit more fun each day, because a lot of times it does happen. You wake up in the morning and all of a sudden, some company reaches out, like, hey, we want to do something with you. I'm like, yes.
Nice. All right. Sounds good. Well, Jesse, man, I appreciate you spending time today. I know we had a hard stop, so we're going to make this clean for you. I appreciate spending time with us. Folks know how to get in touch with you. Why don't you give them a quick one? What's your Instagram account so they can find you on Insta?
Yeah. Look me up, Jesse_Iwuji. So JESSE _IWUJI. Look that up on really all the social media platforms. You'll find me.
Okay, awesome. Hey, man, I appreciate you being on. Folks, what a great show. Great guy. I look forward to seeing you. I'm truly coming out to the Speedway. I want to see you drive around that track. And folks, I'm Coach Rick. That's the Bald Truth.
You've been listening to The Bald Truth with Coach Rick of the Peak Performance Group, the company that helps people and organizations reach their potential. If you're looking for a way to grow your organization, whether it's sales or strategic direction, the Peak Performance Group coaches can help you grow with their proven business acceleration process. Call them at 817-748-7425 or go to mypotentialplus.com and they'll connect you with the right coach for you. And remember to subscribe and like below. The Bald Truth Leadership Podcast is available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, and YouTube video. Hit like and subscribe to get every episode. Thanks for listening to the Bald Truth Leadership Podcast. And until next time, roll up your sleeves and get to work, and you can make things happen.
I'm Coach Rick, and that's the Bald Truth.